Leadership11.com.
Welcome to Leadership Role. I'm your host, Dr. Kitty, and today we'll be talking about the top 5 flyers in Warhammer 40,000. Now, as always, I did put a few restrictions on this. Firstly, not flying monsters creatures. I count that as a completely separate subject, and I think that's pretty easy to see as they do behave completely differently than the planes, the actual flyers. And I'm also not counting any of the Forge World flyers, even though I know there's a ton of them. And some of them are really good and some of them are really overpointed. But I went with just the Codex flyers, and these are the top 5 that I think are the best from the various codexes. So, to start it off, number 5, I'm going to go with the Space Marine, Blood Angel, Grey Knight, Storm Raven. Now, there are subtle differences. The Grey Knight Storm Raven has the Psychic Pilot, so it can ignore the shaken effects, the stun effects. That's really good. The Blood Angel variant has the Blood Strike missiles, which are AP 1, Strength 8. The Grey Knight variant has the Mind Strike missiles, which force a Perils of the Warp if it directly hits Psychers, which is basically free wounds. And the Space Marine variant has the Storm Strike missiles, which are concussive, so if a enemy takes an unsaved wound and isn't killed, they become Initiative 1 in the next assault phase. Not really as good as they're only AP 2, I believe. But the Storm Raven does have the Power of the Machine Spirit across all 3 variants. It has a variety of twin-linked weapons for either anti-ground or anti-air. It's a transport and has the ability to basically parachute people out of it so they can deep strike along a path that it flew instead of having to go into hover mode and disembark that way, which it can, and it is an assault vehicle, so they could assault doing that. But strictly as a flyer, I think it's pretty worthy of the number 5 slot, largely because they are expensive. They're 200 points, which is more than any other flyer on this list, although some are close. So that's why I'm thinking Storm Raven's number 5. Number 4, we have the Eldar Crimson Hunter, and specifically the Exarch variant. This does jump its points up a little bit, but they come with a Pulse Lance and 2 Bright Lances. Basically equates to 4 Strength 8 AP2 shots, 2 of which have the Lance special rule, so they lower armor down to at least 12. But it also has Vector Dancer, which, as far as I know, is the only Codex plane to have this ability. And basically what this does is you're allowed to make another 90-degree turn at the end of your movement, in addition to the 90-degree turn at the beginning of your movement, which makes this plane ridiculously maneuverable. So it's able to stay on the board longer, and it throws some pretty high power shots. The problem with them is that they are only armor 10. So you can shoot them down with bolters if you roll in the 6s they hit. So it's cheaper than the Storm Raven. You could say that the Storm Raven would probably place higher than it, but honestly, I've had the Crimson Hunter kill way more of my tanks than I've ever killed with any of my Storm Ravens. And sometimes that transport capability is actually a liability. If it ends up getting shot, you might lose all your guys, and that's pretty rough. You're kind of losing double the points there. So that's kind of why I put the Crimson Hunter at number 4. I think it's good, at least in the XR variant, and I think it just barely edges out the Storm Raven. And number 3, another transport, the Necrons Scythe. Now, this thing is really cheap for what it is. It's like 100 points, maybe 110. I don't have the book in front of me. I don't know. But it has the twin-linked Tesla cannon, so it's 4 shots, twin-linked. But any 6s you roll gets 2 more hits. So this thing has the potential for a boatload of hits. It's also a transport. I believe it can hold 12 guys, something like that. The real, it might only hold 10. The real advantage of the transport capability, though, is its invasion beams. This thing can actually move 36 and place troops. So holding them in reserve, flying close to the edges, whatnot, for late game objective grabbing, you really can't go better than the Necron Scythe. And the Tesla guns are strength 7. They can kill armor 12 pretty reliably. So they're good for other planes, things like dreadnoughts. It's easy to get side shots on marine vehicles, so you're looking at 11s. It's pretty easy to kill. So I think it's a pretty solid number 3 choice. Number 2, I went with the flyer that pretty much is in every army of this type, which is the Chaos Marine Helldrake. Now, obviously, I'm talking about the Bale Flamer version, which is the Torrent Strength 6 AP3 Flamer Madness that is now on a 360-degree turret. But that isn't where the end of its abilities come in at. It is a plane that gets Vector Strike, which is actually at strength 7. So it can fly over other monstrous creatures or planes or what have you and actually do a significant amount of damage, if not outright kill things, which I have had it do to me before on many occasions. It is also a demon, so it gets a 5-up invulnerable save, and if you take Chaos Demon allies, it can actually have a better save, a 3-up from the Grimoire of True Names. That makes this thing pretty beastly. But it also has the Demon Forge rule, which basically for one turn it can reroll a wound. It's already auto-hitting because it's a flamer, so chances are when you really need to kill that unit, you're going to kill it. You just have to make sure you hit enough guys for it to matter. And whereas it's not the lowest cost of these planes, it's not too bad at 170. For what it is, it's armor 12, so it's more resilient, much like the Storm Raven, and it has that resiliency, but it's 30 points less than the Storm Raven. With a built-in invulnerable save, the ability to reroll a wound for a turn, it gets Vector Strike. It also has hover mode. It's really versatile, and I don't think it's any wonder that they're in like every Chaos Marine army. So that's the Helldrake at number 2. So number 1, this was pretty tough because I actually like a lot of planes. I actually like things like the Storm Talon. Doom Scythes are also really good. But I think this plane is sometimes overlooked because it's pretty much the first plane GW made in plastic, which is the Imperial Guard Vendetta. Now, technically, there isn't a Vendetta kit. They're Valkyries. So I'm kind of bending the rules on this one. I have 2 Vendettas for my Steel Legion. They are all plastic. I just took plastic las cannons and put them on the plane. If you have a lot of heavy weapon teams, it's really not that hard to do that. But with 3 twin link las cannons, transport capacity of 12, and it's only 130 points. It's more points than the Night Scythe, but it is armor 12, 12, 10. So, whereas, again, the Storm Raven is 12 all around, the Helldrake is also 12, 12, 10, with its built-in invulnerable save and ability to murder troops on the ground. This plane, this tank of the skies, can shoot down things like those Helldrakes and still be a threat to ground targets and also drop off troops to capture objectives late game. So I kind of feel like it has what, the second and third places have, and then a little bit more. And really that boils down to points cost. Honestly, as far as these planes go, I really think they're all interchangeable. I mean, you could easily make the argument that Storm Raven's the best, or even that the Crimson Hunter's the best. I have the most experience with Storm Ravens and Vendettas. However, I have played against and even used Helldrakes pretty extensively, and have gotten my butt kicked by Night Scythes and Doom Scythes like nobody's business. So all in all, the That's what I'm going with for a list, though. I'm going with Stormhaven at number 5, Crimson Hunter at number 4, Night Scythe at number 3, Helldrake at number 2, the Vendetta at number 1, and that's what I'm thinking. What are your guys' thoughts? I'd like to hear it. Give us some comments over on Leadership 11, and let us know what you think. I wouldn't be surprised if people disagree with my list, and give us reasons why you like the flyers you like or the flyers that you use. All right, well, we will talk to you later.